LSU at UCLA. That'll be Saturday night at 8:30 on Fox. So that will come on an hour into the Clemson UGA game. So you're going to need multiple screens. If you come to the lounge, I got 3 TVs in there so we can watch them all.
Triple F Lounge is dope. Watch Paul Woodley vibe there. It was really great. Anybody looking for a nice spot, pull up.
Yeah. Bottle of Jameson admission. So, man, what do you see happening in this LSU at UCLA all the way out on the West Coast? So, the games get a little different when you have to travel.
Yeah, definitely, because you're going to have LSU out of their backyard and UCLA also. You know, it's going to be different for both of these teams. But when I look at this LSU team from last season that, you know, really – it wasn't surprising because they lost so much to the draft, but damn, when you go undefeated and win the national championship and have the #1 pick to now having an awful record and just, I mean, totally stinking it up to where people are going to be writing off LSU. People are going to be not writing off Ed Ogeron, but I mean, he's in the spotlight. You know, you're wondering what can he do after a big national championship victory like that. And then you look at the fact that this is the first time these two teams are actually meeting ever in their 100+ year career, you know, for both of these programs. And you have an LSU team for who the first time since 99 did not make a bowl game. So, you know, they're hungry. You know, Coach O is hungry again, and they just want to get back to that level that they were at not too long ago. And then you look at UCLA, who always likes to be a tough team. They always want to put talent out wherever they go. And with them facing off against an LSU team, they're going to be bringing that pressure. They're going to be bringing that momentum because they would love to open the season like that. They'd love to spread the ball around, be really balanced, and overall get their defense working to kind of feel accomplished against an SEC offense that is LSU. I am going to take UCLA with the victory, though. I still feel like LSU is kind of on this lull. They're not going to know necessarily where to find themselves. They've got another receiver that went to the draft, you know, even more potentially from the year after Joe Burrow. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens because LSU, again, like I said, they're coming off of that big victory. And Coach O, you know, that's what we always wonder is what can these coaches truly be when their back is against the wall, when they've got all that talent that has now went to the NFL. But I think it's still a lull, and I'm taking UCLA with a tie one, though, 28-24.
Okay. I mean, I like the Pac-12 pick. Always. I mean, LSU was headed out to L.A. with a defense that actually gave up 35 points per game last year.
Yep.
They were not stopping anything. So, I mean, their main focus this year is going to be to try to stop the bleeding.
Right.
I mean, this UCLA team, they played just this past Saturday in week 0, and they beat Hawaii 44-10. So, I mean, they showed that they can put up points. I mean, they do have some explosive running backs. I mean, that tandem in Zach Charbonnet and Britton Brown.
Charbonnet's disgusting.
Yeah, like those between the two of them, I mean, they can break a game wide open. I think the issue will be is that UCLA doesn't have the size up front. They were able to dominate Hawaii because Hawaii just doesn't have the horses like that. They were running over people and breaking tackles. When you run into players from LSU like that, even though their defense was giving up 35 points per game like that last year, those aren't the same type of athletes that they're going to be playing against out here on Saturday. So, I mean, I don't think that they'll be able to, like, their size will not be able to hold up through 4 quarters. Like, initially, they've got enough to come out there and actually compete. And I think UCLA will come out and take a comfortable lead in the first half. Figure at halftime, we'll probably be looking at a 24-10 UCLA lead where it looks as if UCLA is about to blow them out. And you're like, man, like, what the hell happened to LSU? And, I mean, that would be a major victory for a Pac-12 team over a highly touted SEC team. But what I also see is in the second half, LSU is going to walk them back down. It's going to be a slow grind where those lines start to getting tired. All of a sudden, LSU's run game starts working. They get pressure on UCLA just because in the trenches, when you start losing that battle, that changes football games.
Yes, it does.
And I think LSU will walk them all the way back down for a 33-30 victory in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl, and it'll be a push on the spread because LSU is favored by 3. They're going to win by 3. No one will win their bets. Don't bet on that game.
Yep.